Well, I really wish this wasn't the case, but certain things happen. And you know, when things are too good to be true, sometimes that's when things start to go wrong. So, yesterday, when you guys are seeing this video, it's gonna be a minute because obviously the things have been ordered and I have to wait for those ordered things to come in. But let's just say that this car, when it was going to a GRP meet, which is a Grand Rahal Performance meet, it was misfiring like crazy. And the only suspected thing that I could think of is when I was cleaning my engine bay, I used a little bit too much water. So I'm opening the hood and it doesn't look that bad, but this is the biggest problem. I pulled this guy and I have literally broke it. So it's not that this ignition coil is broken, it's just the silicone covering has snapped off. I also literally can't get this one out. So I don't know why, and I hope I can, because if I can't, then we're in real deep shit. Now, for those of you who are wondering, when you have a tuned car, usually the spark plugs and ignition coils need to be changed after about 20 to 30,000 miles. It depends on how much you drive, obviously, and you know how quick that is. Like for me, those spark plugs and ignition coils have not been changed since I got this car. That was actually the first upgrade I did. So given that, and I've been on stage 2 for, well, technically stage 3 for probably about a year and a half. I've done pulls, I've done all this stuff, and you know, you do your frequent oil changes, but spark plugs do go as well. You know, when you have early detonation, that's when you get the burbles, the loud burbles and stuff. One, it hurts your turbo, but more or less, it's gonna affect the life of everything else, like your O2 sensors and especially your spark plugs. So what I'm basically doing right now is going to the store. I was just making sure that this was well known, that, you know, just because it seems like it's too good to be true doesn't mean it's always going to go so smooth for so long. Everything has to come to an end. So anyways, let's get this started. So that was one of the things too, is that it sounds good right now. Under boost, it does throw a lot of misfires. Like even right now, I can feel it misfiring. It's a little bit. I am gonna check the cylinders, like the heads, because my worst fear is that maybe one of those went too, or maybe something's damaged in there. And if that's the case, then we're gonna do a 4N D-stroke kit, and that's about time for it. Which that's building the whole engine, which is gonna scare the hell out of me. But I mean, it's either that or get a different car. But see, from the outside, it doesn't seem that bad, like at all. So I don't really know, but it definitely smells very rich. So I don't know, guys. It's gonna get fixed. I can't really do much anything except for just not pushing the car that much right now. It sucks. That's the life of a car. You push it beyond its means, which isn't really beyond its means, but when you start pushing it beyond its means, that's when things start to fail. All right, this is just me giving it a little bit of boost. I want to say it's something bad. I'm gonna give it one more piece of boost here. See, like that was fine. And maybe what it could have been is just the coils were wet somehow, which probably was me cleaning the engine bay and I didn't realize this. Now I ordered new coil. Listen, everything happens for a reason. It's not always a bad thing that I bought the coils and stuff. It's just money that I don't have right now, but at least now I know that that's been changed, oil's been changed frequently, so this car is gonna be running amazing. That car is a low rider, holy. Also, I'm not 100% sure if my wheel's just straight or not, or the road is just real bad. Now, if that is not the most Midwestern thing I've ever seen, then I don't know what it is. We're seeing an engine light! No! Yeah, God, it went away. That scared me. It's like a horror film. This time it didn't actually come true though. Woo! And the phone fell in the black hole. 1 full week later, and I have received not only the brand new Precision Raceworks coils, but I've also received brand new spark plugs. Now, it kind of sucks to say this because after driving my car daily for a week, again, this is my only car, so it's not like I've just been sitting within the driveway or in the garage somewhere because I knew it had misfires. I've been driving it. And kind of sucks to say this, but you know, even though I'm tuned, you really don't need to change your spark plugs that often. I mean, I'd say every like 30 to 60,000 miles. Obviously, if you're not tuned, probably 100,000 miles. It's not cheap, okay? I mean, obviously there's more expensive things to worry about, but I've been driving for the past week, and I can say that I've had no misfires. I've also been gunning the crap out of it. I've been literally just doing everything imaginable, and I've had no problems. So I think what happened was that I literally just had moisture get inside between the spark plug and the coil, and that's what was causing obviously a shortage. And I'm glad it wasn't worse, because it could have been worse, but we're gonna change them anyways, because I do have to change the cylinder 1 since I fucked that one up. But yeah, other than that, 170 bucks down the drain. I will say, like, the only thing that I really hate about BMWs is that you gotta take out literally almost everything. But granted, I feel like this is just a German car thing. To this day, I will never understand what goes through the BMW engineers' mind, because that's what makes a car, is from the engineers. And clearly there's needing to be a lot of beauty covers to distract everybody else from the mess that's underneath. But oh well, we're here and we gotta take it all off. The most insane thing to me is that out of everything, I mean, realistically, only the hardest one would be number 5. But you gotta remove literally all of this stuff just to get to cylinder 6. And I still have to remove that plate, and then we should be good to actually start doing everything. And it's a super simple, easy task. It's just, how does that make any sense? And what BMW engineer was like, oh my god, yeah, that would be the smartest play to do. As I'm taking these coils off, it's actually kind of shocking to see how much rust has actually built up between the coil and the actual spark plug wall, which is a little concerning, but I cleaned it out. However, cylinder 1, the coil actually ended up getting stuck on the spark plug. So as you'll see here in a few, it was incredibly difficult to get off. But not only that, but cylinder 5 got stuck too. Now, I would probably not recommend these PR coil packs, just because if you're going to do PI in the future, you can't run these. Physically, you cannot run the coil packs because of the location of where the PI would be inserted. So it's always best to just go with a Delphi Technologies coil or just OEM. They all literally work the same. These are just more for beauty and shows. So it's happened to cylinder 1 and 5. But it gets more rusty as it goes back there, and then I got a wound there. Oh, that hurt. So I don't think that's really going to impact much, hopefully, or maybe it would actually. I'm not sure. Well, I finally got it, and if anyone was curious what the inside of a coil looks like, that was stuck on the spark plug. Yeah. Well, nothing with a BMW can go right the first time or second time. Mostly all the time. Now, as I'm pulling these spark plugs out, I'm realizing they're not as fouled as I thought they would be. There's not a whole lot of carbon buildup, so maybe this is actually the best case scenario. It really doesn't. Probably could use these as a backup if they don't break. Cylinder 2, cylinder 3, cylinder 4. Again, same thing. This is number 5. Dude, it looks the exact same as literally all the other ones. And last but not least, cylinder number 6, which is all the way in the back of the engine towards the front of the cabin of the car. Okay, so this is maybe just a thought on my own, but I think what's crazy is that you don't even really need spark plug gappers unless you're doing some really crazy things with them, because truthfully, I think they come pre-gapped, because this is at 0.022, which is between, I think 0.020 and 0.022 are like the recommended, or 0.023 or something like that is the recommended like gappage for tuned cars. Now it's time to put the spark plugs back in. It's always good to double check the gappage, because obviously if one is a little bit bigger than the other, then you might have actual misfire, and then you have to redo it and figure it out, which takes time, which pretty much nobody has nowadays. So I'm checking the gappage of each spark plug, putting them in the spark plug hole, and basically finger tightening them until they are giving me some sort of resistance. After that, I'm torquing them to about 25 Newton meters, which is essentially almost nothing. And now it's time to place the coils. Again, I really think these PR coils are a little overrated. They do look cool, especially when you pop the hood at shows and everything, because it makes it look really fast, but essentially they're no different from a Delphi coil, and they're not producing any more of a spark or some sort of current to go to the spark plug and actually ignite. So realistically, you're spending a good $250 plus more on coils just to have the beauty aspect of it. But I will say shout out to PR, because they do make insanely good products, like their low pressure fuel pump upgrades. They also have a high pressure fuel pump upgrade and many more things to make your car that much quicker and that much more beautiful. I mean, theoretically, it should start, because it's got the coil packs plugged in with the spark plugs. and all that. As long as it starts, that's really all I care about. As long as it runs. Guess let's see. Runs perfectly, no problem. Okay, so I know most of you are gonna be like, oh yeah, you don't realize the difference at all. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a slight difference. It runs a little bit smoother, idles a little bit smoother, but other than that, did I really need them? No. For sure, no. Now when I go to sell the car, or if I keep the car, or whatever I do for it, because obviously the F80 M3 is coming soon. I really happy about that one. I'm not modding the crap out of that one for sure. At least not right away. Yeah. So hope you enjoyed this video. Always a pain in the ass to work on sometimes. Well, BMW isn't. Now it's got new plugs, new coils, runs and purrs like a champ. I gotta put all this shit back together.